All right. Good morning, everybody. This is exam week, and this is not the exam day for you today. So we're going to do review work. Your exam is actually on Friday. So I want you to do some activities today to prep you for it. It's a 55 question test, but even though it's long, it's kind of easy. Uh, So I imagine that you all will do very well with this test. So I'm going to give at least one more minute for anybody else to come in. While they're coming in, I'll check attendance, set up GoGuardian, do all those setup things that I'm supposed to do. Okay. Kind of just waiting on Maxwell. Maxwell looks like he's stuck in another class. All right. So this is what we're going to do. Okay, here he comes. About Landon. Landon's not logging in. Okay, so we're going to, like I said, do some review work. So we're not going to go on to a new unit today. They say kind of keep it light this week. So we're going to keep it light and we're going to do these review Nearpods. And I'm going to put them in student mode so that you can do all of the activities. So I will be checking to make sure there's 100% participation. And there they go. Okay. So let's start with this one. All right, so on the test, we are covering, it's a 9-week test, so we're covering everything, the macromolecules, cell organelles, cell transport, cellular respiration. So all of that is on the test. This is why it's so long. So trying to incorporate all those. But again, it's long, it's all multiple choice. It still won't take you very long to do it, and we've had good results on the other tests. Plus, um, if you studied you're allowed to have your study guide open. The study guide has a lot of the last information on it. It doesn't have macromolecules. So what you might want to have handy for the test is your chart that you made earlier that has all of the macromolecules outlined on one chart. So that will be helpful. So we're going to start with the macromolecule link. So let me put this in the chat. We're going to do I have about 5 review Nearpods to do. So we'll do between today and tomorrow, we'll work on those and get you ready for Friday's test. All right, so the link for the Nearpod is up. Oh no. I tell you what I need you to do. I tell you what, I'm going to take this one back and give you the teacher paced one because I can't keep up with you on this one when it's student paced. So let me do that. Let me send you a different link. What just happened? Okay, go ahead. That'll give me a minute to get back to, let me close this, open that. It just locked me out of my Nearpod. All right, so yeah, let me send you this one instead. And that way I can keep up with you all. It's the same one. It's just not student led. Now the next one I'll probably let you do student paced. This one I want to be able to keep up with you. Let's do this one instead. So log into the link, the new link that I just sent you. That doesn't work, does it? All right, so again, these are meant to be review, but I still am looking to see that you are fully participating. All right, so it is important that you remember that what the macromolecules are. They are the carbon, the lipids, which are also called fat molecules, proteins, and nucleic acids. Those are uh, four macromolecules, and all of them have a specific function in our biological processes. However, they all can provide energy, but that's not their main function. So we need to look at what is the main function of each of these, because that's what the test will ask you. They all contain carbon, but they're all connected to hydrogen and oxygen. Some are connected to nitrogen and some other molecules, but all contain carbon. The other word that you have to be familiar with is organic. Organic means that it contains carbon. Inorganic means it doesn't contain carbon. Okay, go ahead and answer this question. I think I kind of answered it. Let's skip this one because I just answered that question. I didn't mean to, but I just answered the question. And again, if it's a organic molecule, it contains carbon. Okay, you are considered an organic molecule because you are mostly made up of these macromolecules that all contain carbon. So let's skip that question. All right. What you also have to, one of the questions on the test wants you to recognize this structure here. This is actually a glucose structure or sugar. So be able to recognize that that particular line right there is a carbohydrate. It is, right now it's a polysaccharide because there's many of them. You need to know your terms of monomers and polymers. So this is why I said having that um, worksheet that you had, that the chart that you had at the beginning of the term, we listed what is the monomer for carbohydrate, what is the monomer for nucleic acids, and so on and so forth. So make sure that you have that worksheet handy. Um, all right, dehydration synthesis. Remember, hydration sounds like what it is, it's water. So if we're going to dehydrate something, we're going to take water away. And I told you need to start thinking about water as HOH instead of H2O, because what we typically tend to do is one molecule has an OH on it, the other one has an H on it. And if you see the red in this diagram, if you take those off, you're going to connect these two molecules by removing water. So you dehydrate the reaction by removing water, but you remove it by taking an OH off of one molecule and an H off of the other. So when you put it together, when you're looking at the end result, so we have two monosaccharides, and they're facing normally, so that the OH end of one and the H end of the other are facing each other. And when they take those molecules off, you end up connecting the oxygen, which is left. So the OH off of one totally left, the H off of one of the OH is left, leaving the oxygen, and that's how they're connected. They're connected by that oxygen that remains, and water leaves. Okay, so that's a dehydration synthesis. The water has been removed by removing an OH and an H off of each of the molecules. Let's see, what else do we need to say? At the same time, they share electrons. It's a covalent bond. All right. Again, those were monomers, and when we connected them, they become a polymer. In this case, they were saccharides. So it went from being a monosaccharide, two monosaccharides, to being disaccharides. And when you keep connecting them, they become a polysaccharide. And our polysaccharides can be starch, glycogen, and cellulose. Those are large saccharide molecules. All right. The reverse of dehydration is hydrolysis. And again, I'm kind of going through this quickly because we've done this before. But if you need me to slow down, just do a hands raise and I'll slow down. Um, Polymers, so those are the big molecules. Now we've made these big molecules. Now we want to break them up. We want to do digestion. So for digestion, we took the water out. Now we break them up by adding the water back. So we're going to hydrate it. Okay. So the same units where that same OH molecule, oxygen that's holding them together, that's where we're going to add the OH and H back to each of those substances. Okay, so again, you're looking at they're connected by that oxygen. We add water and it breaks that oxygen bond and it puts OH on one and the H on the other. And that's hydrolysis. So hydrolysis is adding the water. All right, I'm going to stop here and let you answer this question. Now the electrons are your OH and your H. All right, so everybody's logged in, everybody's answering. This is review, so participation is good. I'm going to stop sharing for 1 minute because I need to do attendance. Okay, everybody's answering the question. Maxwell had just nodded out on me. Hi there. You gotta be answering the question. All right. I'll be back with you in just a sec. We have one person absent. Okay. All right, so let's see if everybody was obedient. Okay, I got no answer from 2 people, 3 people. Folks, y'all should have answered. Everybody should have answered this by now. Isabella, I hope you're back. Everybody should be answering the question. Remember, this is review. This is for you. Participate, participate. All right, electrons transfer from OH and OH ions to the monomers. That's a good answer. Electrons are added by dehydration synthesis. All right, they're actually removed by dehydration. They're added. So, Piper, you want to change that word dehydration to hydrolysis? Because when we add them, we remove them during dehydration synthesis. Okay. All right, Ariana, same thing. All right, so dehydration, we're taking those, the electrons are, because actually OH, we're going to learn later on, is what we call a polyatomic ion. So there are 2 of them, but they function as one. So that ion, that electron, and the H, dehydration, remember, we're going to take those away and connect them at the oxygen, and hydrolysis, we're going to add them back. All right, Maxwell and Malik, y'all got to answer, but I'm moving on. All right. You need enzymes for everything. We talked about enzymes are part of proteins. Most of You need to remember, be able to recognize that a word that ends in ASE is always an enzyme. If it ends in OSE, it's always a sugar. So look at the endings of words that help you identify what they are. Okay, so there are different, and enzymes are specific to the molecule that they work on. So proteins have a protease, and carbohydrates have a special name for theirs. Lipids have lipases. So they are designed to only work on the substance that they are created for. So we also talked about, and this part is not on the test, but we also talked about lock and key theory, that the enzyme will sit on top of the molecule and has a perfect fit, and then that's how it does digestion. There are no questions about that on the test, but you still need to remember it for later on. Later on, we'll talk about digestion, and that'll come back into play again. All right, so um, give me 1 second to, I have learned how to make sure that, now where'd it go? Okay, give me 1 second. I think when I share, there it is. Got it. Okay. All right, so now I can play the video and you can still hear it.
Many important biological molecules are made of repeating subunits, called monomers. When many monomers join, the result is a polymer. For example, amino acid monomers join to form a protein polymer, and glucose monomers combine to form a complex carbohydrate polymer. Biological polymers form by dehydration synthesis reactions. As you can see here, each of the monomers in this reaction has a hydrogen, or H, and a hydroxyl, or OH group. In the course of the reaction, the hydrogen is removed from one monomer and the hydroxyl group from the other. The hydrogen and hydroxyl group combine to form water, and a bond links the two monomers. Hydrolysis is the opposite of a dehydration synthesis reaction. During a hydrolysis reaction, a polymer is reduced to its monomer subunits by the addition of water. In fact, the word hydrolysis literally means to break water. The hydroxyl group from a water molecule attaches to one monomer, and the remaining hydrogen attaches to the other monomer. In other words, water is used to break the bond holding monomers together. Let's do a quick recap. During dehydration synthesis, monomers join to form polymers, and water is released. The opposite happens during hydrolysis, where water is added to the reaction to break a polymer into monomers.
All right, is everybody good with the difference between hydrolysis and dehydration? All right, here we go. Everybody needs to answer the question. There are two questions. All right, everybody good? I can check. All right, come on, folks. See, some of y'all are not participating. You have to participate. All right, the answer to the question, if you are releasing water, you are taking water away, it is dehydration. Okay, if you need to write that definition down, write that definition down. All right, thank you. Okay, back to next question. The enzyme amylase acts as a catalyst in the hydrolysis of. See if you remember which one. Okay, good. All right, Natalie and Sila, you're not participating. Okay. All right. So yes, going back to the question. Remember, I told you that um, and that one actually does starch. That's the one that's in your mouth. When you eat foods and bread and crackers and things like that, the amylase enzymes start in your mouth immediately to break down those types of things before it gets to your stomach. Actually, when you get to your stomach, you have enzymes that start working on proteins. Alrighty. I thought I had it on focus mode. No, it is on focus mode. No, I just stopped it. Okay, yeah, I just wanted to do this one um, so that I could do it with you. The next one, I'm going to put those on student. I have two more that we can get done during this lesson, and I'm going to put those on student mode. So I did want to go through this one with you. All right, everybody has picked their. Everybody got to pick an avatar. It'll tell me when everybody's in. I need 8 of you. It says 5, 6, 7. Missing somebody. Who we missing? All right, got everybody. Okay, what I'll do is I'll stop sharing on this one. Remember, everybody's got to participate. I might get bonus points on the test on Friday for those who are participating. Some of y'all have 0 right now. It's the last question. Okay. Zal, I don't know what you're doing during class. You logged in, but you're not participating. Maxwell, you too. Y'all got to participate. All right, this one is done. All right, let me send you the next one. Yes, you did. All right, so I'm going to let's see what time we got. Yeah, these Nearpods, and don't worry about the Nearpods so much. Let me see if it allows me to put timer. I don't know if I can change the timer on a Nearpod, but um, with the test, you'll have more time. The test is a quizzes, and you'll only be allowed one chance, but the timing on it, you don't go on to the next question until you are finished with the one before it. So the quizzes will be fine. All right, so I'm sending this next one to you in student mode so you can work on it I'm going to give you two links back to give back so that you can work on those. Uh, okay, that's what I didn't do. Okay, here we go. Okay, so work on that one. And again, it's going to tell me who's logged in, who isn't. So I'm waiting to see the students who log in. All right, I got four of you. 4 out of 8. Everybody needs to log into that one. Got 6. I need 2 more. One more. Zyla, you gotta log in. Okay, there you go. All right, so this one is student pace, so you go do this one at your own pace, read them, progress as you. There are questions about the organelles, so make sure that you not so much recognize them. You do need to know plant cells. You need to know what the grana and thylakoids look like, and chloroplast, um, mitochondria, nucleus, those types of things that are important. There are questions about those. Okay, so make sure that okay, I got 5 people responding to that cell diagram question. Everybody needs to participate. All right, I'm not sharing, but I am watching. I am following. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and skip that collaborative one for now, because I would have had to have started that at the beginning and just go ahead and answer the other questions. Um, Let me see, student option. All right, I think I took, all right. I think I took just check and see. I took the approved post off. I think that's what they meant by. And see if you can't post on the collab board without me approving it. All right, do me a favor, go back to the question that says, why does one of the types of ER rough? See if you can't type an answer on there. I think I have disabled the need for me to see what you're writing before you. Anybody go back to the ER question? Try posting an answer on that board. And then the second board too, I disabled um, the pending. I just want to see if that's the button I need to push in order to allow you to do this when you're in student mode. Okay. All right, so don't worry about it. Thank you for checking. Uh, I think I had to do that when I sent it in the first place. Okay. All right, so don't worry about the collab boards, but answer all the other questions. Okay, let me, yeah. Mhm. Okay. All right, if you finish that one here, yeah, I've just put the second one in the chat. I mean, the third one in the chat. Let's see if we can get through most of that today. All right, again, I put the third one up. I only see one person logged into it. I know most of y'all are finished with that other one. Make sure you get to this third one. You do need to know the stages of endocytosis and exocytosis. Make sure you understand the difference between the two. Like I said, right now I only have 2 people logged into it, but please go through that one. Vocabulary, vocabulary, vocabulary. It's very important. Understand your vocabulary. All right, folks, we still got 10 minutes left. Everybody should still be working on a Nearpod. Like I said, I only have 2 people logged into the third one that I posted. Again, that has a lot of very important vocabulary words. So please make sure that you log into it. I got 2 more for tomorrow. All right, I think I fixed the collaboration board, so let me know if it, for this second one, if it does not allow you to collaborate. But if it doesn't, it should allow you to go forward to the next one. Okay, I see a few of you are still working on the cytoplasm and cell organelle Nearpod. I will put this bulk transport back up tomorrow. And then with this, we're also going to look at the difference between active and passive transport. But this one specifically deals with um, endocytosis, phagocytosis, and exocytosis. So I do want you to be familiar with those because there is a diagram of that on the test. So I want you to be familiar with it. So again, we're doing these as a review for the test on Friday, test has 55 questions, multiple choice questions, but some of them have diagrams. So the whole point of doing the Nearpod is so that you can look at the diagrams.